You know how easy it is to keep the conversation flowing with your friends? It's even easier with women. Bold statement, I know, but it's 100% backed by science. Now, in order to go from awkwardness and overthinking to a conversation she'll remember forever, you'll have to face 3 fundamental problems. Problem number 1, you don't know what to say. Normally, it should be almost impossible for your mind to run out of topics, but this is where the conversation paradox comes around. You try to make a good impression, so every topic that pops out into your mind will be analyzed, considered not good enough, and then deleted. This process will repeat over and over again in a matter of seconds, until there's nothing left and you're caught in a painful silence. But you can actually approach every topic you want. It's how you approach it that truly matters. A boring dude will ask her something like, "What's your favorite food?" But you, be interesting. Ask something like, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Research in education and social psychology shows that people pay more attention and feel more engaged when the same information is presented in a new, surprising way. So instead of just asking boring questions, rephrase them to be more engaging. But the conversation shouldn't feel like an interview. You already know that. So in order to have the smoothest transitions and keep you guys talking all night long, you have to use something called threading. Take a look at this sentence. If you were on a date right now, how would you continue the conversation? You'll probably ask something like this. Am I right? Well, this is where you're wrong. You talk facts. But studies show that women are more emotionally intelligent than men, so you have to talk feelings. How did that experience change you? What were the most beautiful moments you experienced there? If she responds something like this, take a word or a group of words and ask another related question. So you're missing that piece in your life, huh? With these tricks, you can continue the conversation over and over again, which is amazing. But there are some people that don't need to learn all of these. They're naturally social, so they do them instinctively. You compete with them. That's why you can't settle for a good conversation. You need a conversation that's truly interesting. Problem 2, you don't know how to make the conversation interesting. Most of the time, we rely on the information that comes to our mind most easily. This is called availability heuristic. What does it have to do with an interesting conversation? Well, in 2014, it was discovered that an experience is more memorable if it contains a large range of emotions. To bring these emotions alive, you can't just rely on the first thing that comes to your mind like in the earlier stage. You'll need some new tricks. The simplest one is gamification. When she asks you questions like, how old are you, or where are you from, don't just answer. Instead, you can simply say, yes, or playfully ask back, why should I tell you? On the wheel of emotions, this type of answer activates joy, surprise, and anticipation, as she's still curious to hear the real answer. Fun fact, anticipation is one of the strongest emotional drivers for attraction, but I'll talk more about this later in the video. Now, to activate these 4 emotions, you'll need a technique that has its roots in 1948. Back then, a psychologist called Bertram Forer gave a personality test to all of his students. Regardless of how they answered, Forer provided everyone with the exact same personality profile and asked them to rate his accuracy. The average answer? 4.26 out of 5. People tend to accept general personality descriptions as being highly unique for them. That's why you should use cold reading. You can spark the next emotions by using these conversational templates. I know a person that went through a lot when I see them. That's sadness. You seem like a person who is afraid of stepping out of her comfort zone. This is fear. Some people may see you as shy, but I think they didn't get to know you enough. That's trust. From what I hear, I bet that you hate when people don't understand you. And that's anger. Now, you can involve all of these emotions in your interaction, but what about disgust? Well, it might be safer to stay away from that emotion.
The bill for you. Do you guys want to pay together or do you want me to separate?
Phoebe, am I getting that hot tour tonight?
Probably not.
Okay, you can do separate checks, please. Thanks.
By this point in the conversation, she likes, trusts, and respects you. But would she feel a romantic connection? Only your next actions can decide that. Problem number 3, you don't know how to make the conversation romantic. For this part, we must take a look at the story of Frank Sinatra. This dude had millions of fans, hundreds of thousands of beautiful women around him. Nothing new for a celebrity, but he accomplished something unique. He made every girl he met feel like she's the center of his universe. universe. The only girl in the world. But how? During intimate moments, he was often put in front of a dilemma. Compliment her beauty? Boring. Downplay her looks? Rude. So how can I spark romance? And then he came up with the perfect formula. Downplay her beauty, but compliment her uniqueness. So during a date, he could say something like, "Doll, I've met a lot of beautiful women, but a voice like yours, I could listen to you all night long." He really liked using terms like doll, darling, love, and so on. But there's something that I didn't tell you. Sinatra also used erotic risks. As described in The Erotic Mind by Jack Morin, these are small, ambiguous expressions of interest that create anticipation without overcommitting. Remember when I told you how anticipation is the key to romance? Fun fact, anticipation is one of the strongest emotional drivers for attraction. Now you have the whole conversation package, but be careful. You always have to calibrate your flirting level with hers. How do you know when she's flirting with you? I know just the video that will help you find out.